Welcome to today's episode of Dungeon Master Deep Dive. Today I'm joined by Riley, who plays the halfling wizard Trixi Quikvale. I'll be asking him some general questions about the subject of the campaign and his character, and then we'll actually have him in character as Trixi and answer a few more questions. Alright, let's copy a spell scroll and dive in. What's up, Riley? I just want to say thank you for being here today for this episode of DM Deep Dive. My first question for you, as I ask everyone, what is your experience with D&D or TTRPGs? How long have you been playing, and what sparked your interest in the game?
My first experience with D&D was 2 one-shots at a summer camp, and then I didn't play for a long while, and then I got back into it at the beginning of this semester.
Nice. What sparked your interest in that?
It seemed like there was enough of a randomness to it, and it was a story that you could create with other people while also juggling all these different systems and numbers, and it just seemed fun.
Yeah, you definitely just described D&D as it works as a whole, so that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, can you tell me what you enjoy most about playing as Trixi?
I kind of have 2 answers. Whenever I was playing Trixi as the bastard, I enjoyed making all these impulsive, different decisions that I normally wouldn't make. Like, I got to, see what would happen, kind of. While playing Trixie as a wizard, I really enjoy my role, the unique part I play in battle and out of battle, and while still having enough of that impulsiveness to keep it interesting.
Cool. All right, next question. What has been the biggest development you've seen so far with your character?
When Trixie first met the party, she was impulsive, headstrong, and irritable. And as time went on, and with, the breaking of the amulet and the release of all those effects that the amulet had on her, she kind of mellowed out, remembered her intellectual roots, and may start to grow to accept the bond that she shares with the rest of the party.
Right. Where do you think Trixi is headed in the future?
Headed for the unknown aboard a flaming chariot.
Can you go more in detail about what that means?
Trixi and I both don't quite know where she's going, but wherever she ends up, she'll probably record it. She may go adventuring for years and years and years, become a historian, a sage, a scholar. She might just go dig around for a few centuries, who knows? Like,
okay,
being a halfling.
So just kind of that step into the unknown.
And
all right.
Generally taking a step away from the espionage and thievery.
Yeah.
Because that's just,
Grown a little tired of that.
Tired of it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you, Riley, for answering all of those questions. I'm going to ask you to get into character as Trixi for the next part of our interview. Thank you, Trixi, for taking time for this brief conversation. For a long time, you led the party to believe that you were actually a bard, but later revealed to them after the breaking of your Songstone amulet that you have been a wizard in disguise this whole time. Can you tell us more about that?
At first, it was intriguing and new. It was an opportunity, a novelty that I got to enjoy. I got to live life in someone else's shoes. After a while, though, I grew disinterested and bored, and I could feel the mental strain of the amulet. It felt like it was trying to replace who I was with who I was pretending to be. I would say I regret the robbing and the betrayal, except for the people who crossed me first. They deserve to die in hell. I also greatly enjoyed the challenges that came with pretending to be a thief. The challenges that came with breaking into all these high-security vaults. Yeah.
All right, well, that's a very detailed description.
After a while, though, it kind of didn't like who I was becoming, so I kind of just...
Started to despise that, maybe?
Yes.
So maybe you were relieved at the breaking of the Songstone?
To a degree, yes.
Right. Well, Trixi, I know for sure that you are definitely a person that loves to take notes on anything and everything. Can you tell us what actually helps you take those notes, such as why you write down what you do? And basically that just translates to, can you give us some note-taking tips?
One of the most general things about notes is that they have to be organized. and I have oh so little time to organize my notes. So what I do is I create two very broad categories. One is dedicated to the chronological order of events, where they took place, and the outcomes of those events. The other is more like an encyclopedia of places, people, and things, and the most important details involving them. Beyond that, categorization is non-essential and only comes about if I have the time to manage it. Only important details are written down, and deciding which details are important is half art form and half science. If you want to decide which details you will and won't write down, that can take a lot of brain power. However, I've got a shortcut. Just write down everything. That way you don't have to care. Because if you're going to take the energy to decide which details are important, just use divination magic, because it's easier.
Fair. Trixi, what would you say your favorite part about being a member of the Glorious Bastards is?
I am both proud and insanely amused by the fact that we constantly find ourselves pulling off feats that most people would consider impossible. Have you heard of mortals going to hell? No, I guess we're the first. How many people can say they've defeated a brass dragon? Not many, I tell you that much. Just the insane feats.
The insane feats, all right. Trixi, what are your main goals, or could you elaborate on that?
I mostly just want to figure out what the fuck is going on. In the grand scheme of things. It's thinking like that that leads me to write most things down, because those details could help me to understand. And I also want to show the world what I'm capable of, because I have had it up to here with being underestimated. I was undercover under the influence of the amulet for about a decade. I had to deal with countless witless fools, and that's the real crime here.
Last question for you, Trixi. Can you please describe what your outlook is on your future, both as an individual and as a group?
Personally, if I survive through hell, I think I've got a long and exciting life ahead of me, full of mystery and intrigue and adventure, bouncing from town to town. If I survive. As a group, I think that we will end up as one of the most feared and or respected groups in history thus far. It's either that or we fade into obscurity and no one even notices that we're gone when we all die. But of those two, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first.
Right. Thank you again, Trixi, for joining us, and thank you, Riley. I'll let Trixi get back to her arcane studies, and I, for one, am excited to see where Trixi is headed for the rest of the campaign. For now, though, that's all for today's episode of DM Deep Dive. We'll see you around.